Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Justin and I did not have a regular video for you today. I was supposed to go out and film something today at some point, but the plans fell through and it's not going to happen. So instead I had a story for you guys today and I thought that you guys might like it. Still railroad related. And yeah, I've got a story for you guys. So first off, a little bit of background. I volunteer with a group called the Whitewater Valley Railroad out of Connorsville, Indiana. And I have been volunteering with them for probably 7-8 years now. It's been a while. Pretty much after I graduated from high school, I started going down there and volunteering. I've run train crew, but this last year or so, I've almost entirely done track work. Keeps me busy. I've been enjoying it. I like the group of guys that run track, and we needed more help. So I've been running track crew for a while, replacing ties, tamping, and then just doing anything that needs to be done. So let me start from the beginning. Back in July, I went down on a Saturday, I believe it was a Saturday, we were going to go do some tamping. It was just me and one other guy, so small crew, and I get to the shop, and we get the Tamper out, and a high rail work truck, and the Tamper was, let's say, elderly. It's been used quite a bit, as is much of our equipment. New track equipment is just crazy expensive, so we run with some older stuff that may not be in the best shape, but we do the best we can. We patch everything up and everything. So anyway, we get to this Tamper, and it's pretty darn beat up. I'm looking at it, and it's rusted, and the hydraulic lines are looking a little thin, a little peculiar, but I didn't think much of it. Fill it up with hydraulic fluid and fuel and everything, and we run down the track. The spot we were working at was about, I would say a good 10 miles down the line, so it took us a little while to get there at 15 miles an hour, track limit, or track speed limit. Now, before I continue on, I should probably explain kind of the layout of the Tamper. I'll try to find a picture of one similar to the one that we have on Google and put it on here. But essentially, where you sit, there are, right in front of you are the actual tamping arms that reach down between the ties and kind of jiggle the ties and tamp the road bed down under the ties. If you don't know what tamping is, essentially you're packing more ballast underneath the ties to kind of hold the track up and level and stable. So in front of you is the tamping arms. You sit in kind of the middle of the machine, and then behind you is the motor and hydraulic pumps and all the equipment to run the machine. So anyway, we arrive at the site that we're going to tamp, and I'm new to this machine. I've never run it before. So the guy I was working with, he showed me he did the first probably 20 ties or so. Showed me how the machine works, and it's really pretty simple. There's a forward and backward lever. There's 2 levers to run each side of the Tamper. We tamp one side and then tamp the other, and do that a couple times for each tie. Really simple, and there's a brake. Not much to it. So he let me get on and start tamping ties, and I think he was checking gauge behind me or something. He was busy with something else about 40-50 feet behind me. And I start tamping along, and I'm starting to get the hang of it. Just manipulating the controls, pretty easy to run. So after about, I would say 50 ties or so, I'd done a good number. I'm working along and getting better at it and getting faster. And then all of a sudden I feel this like spray on the back of my neck. It felt like if somebody took a spray bottle of water and like sprayed it like on your neck a few times. And about a second after that, I feel this really, really intense heat. And I'm like, what on earth? And I turn around, and the motor is just in like open air. I turn around, and there's this 40-foot tall flame coming off the motor. And I was like, what do I do? So I turn around, and I'm like, how do I shut this thing off? And after about a second, I said, never mind. And I bailed off that thing. I jumped off, and I took off running back up the track to go get the other guy. And by the time I got back to the truck, he had already noticed what was going on, and we both just start running towards it. And we get about 20 feet from it, and this thing is still shooting flame, a good 40 feet in the air, and the engine's running, and it starts rolling. It starts rolling towards the next town. And we're both just standing there like, what do we do? And, he's like, I don't know. Do we have a fire extinguisher? I don't know. I think we do somewhere. And we're both just kind of frozen, like in fear. And we don't know what is going on. So eventually the motor does finally shut down. I assume it overheated or something got severed where the engine just quit, which of course put the fire out. And as it turns out, we inspected it after, this what happened. And what had happened was one of the hydraulic lines had severed itself or come undone or something, and started just spraying hydraulic fluid all over the place. And if you don't know, hydraulic fluid is extremely flammable. It is very happy to burn, very hot. And it started spraying hydraulic fluid directly onto the engine, and I assume it got on the exhaust and just went right up in flame. And fortunately, everybody was okay. I was somehow walked away from this completely unscathed. And we're looking at the trees, and the leaves are burned 40 or 50 feet up in the trees. It was a bit frightening, but we were okay. And so after this, we both decided that was enough for the day. I think that we did eventually get the Tamper moved at least out of the way, so that they could run trains, the next weekend. And no, like I said, fortunately, everybody was okay. Nobody got hurt. And I want to make very clear that this is not a negative review of the Whitewater Valley Railroad in any way. This stuff happens sometimes. The guys down there are great. And I still love going down there all the time. But it's just a fun story to tell. And by the way, we did actually get a new Tamper, not new, but a fairly new one a few months ago to replace this one. In much better shape, runs much better. So fortunately, everything worked out okay for everybody. So anyway, thank you for listening to me ramble on about something that happened to me. Let me know if you're interested in seeing more of this kind of thing. I know this isn't something that I normally do, but I am happy to tell more stories and just talk about railroad stuff in general. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.